Yes, you and your wife are both 100% responsible for your own happiness, but you still influence hers. Welcome back to the Secure Husband Podcast. Bruce Abbott, certified professional coach and founder of SecureHusband.com, the podcast where we help good men stop living from emotional survival and start leading their marriages with grounded, secure strength. So if you are responsible 100% for your own happiness, and your wife is 100% responsible for hers, then the facts are that no one else can make you whole, no one else can rescue you, no one else can complete you. That's a Hollywood fantasy. That's not real life. But, and this is the part that most men miss, your actions and energy still have a heavy influence inside the marriage. You can't make your wife happy, but your leadership, or your lack of it, shapes the emotional environment she's living in. So we have to learn how to stop putting our happiness in her hands, and we have to stop trying to carry her happiness on our shoulders. And then we have to create this emotional atmosphere that invites connection and safety and joy back into the marriage. So let me unpack this a little bit. Okay, as you always hear us say, you are the only one responsible for your happiness. 100%. Not your wife, not your kids, not your job, not your friends, not your parents, the weather, market, your favorite football team. You. And your wife is the only one responsible for her happiness. Happiness isn't something you receive, though. It's something you generate. Happiness comes from how you think and how you manage your emotions and how you connect spiritually and live in integrity and your values and how you regulate your body and your nervous system and all these things together. And they tie in with your feelings of self-esteem and self-worth. But when you outsource your happiness, for example, waiting for your wife to say the right thing or initiate sex or validate you, you live powerless. You become a man ruled by circumstances. And that's when you start controlling and clinging and collapsing and all the behaviors that destroy connection instead of building it. So even though you're 100% responsible for your own happiness, you have to notice where you are outsourcing that happiness and how your reactions and behaviors influence her happiness. And it starts with awareness. Am I waiting on her approval to feel good about myself and feel happy? And am I expecting her to fix my emptiness and unhappiness? Because guys, when we think about happiness, we tend to think of them as behavior-based. So if she'd just show more affection, I'd feel happy. If she'd initiate more, I'd feel wanted, I'd feel happy. If she'd appreciate me more, I'd feel validated and feel happy. That's all still outsourcing happiness. It's still putting your emotional experience in someone else's hands. And until you reclaim it and own it fully, you're going to stay stuck. And no matter who she is, no woman, no matter how loving, can carry that weight for you. And once you're aware of that, you get to choose to reclaim your own emotional leadership and happiness. And although this may seem forceful to yourself, it's really with self-compassion and love, where you draw a line in the sand and tell yourself, I'm no longer going to wait for external circumstances to feel okay. And you're not doing this with blame or shame. You're doing it with self-love. And you lead yourself emotionally. And you make the choice to lead fully and completely and consistently. And you're not separating and detaching and giving the cold shoulder and going passive aggressive. You're not withdrawing. You're not sitting there saying, look, I don't care what she does. You're choosing to take control of your happiness. And it requires building a life so full, so connected to a higher source of unconditional love and so rooted in purpose and self-compassion that you no longer are living at the mercy of anyone else's moods. And that's where you start taking responsibility for your peace and your joy and your strength. That's the core of real masculinity. And when you can do that, often that invites connection back. Because no woman feels safe opening to a man whose emotional world she's expected to manage. But you have tremendous influence. Even though you're 100% responsible for your own happiness, your energy still impacts your marriage. Massive impact. Because what are you going to bring to the marriage? Are you going to bring peace? Or are you going to bring neediness and clinginess and chaos? Are you going to bring patience? Or are you going to bring frustration? Are you going to bring strength or insecurity? Gratitude or resentment? What are you bringing every single day? Whatever you're bringing, your wife will feel it. Even if you never say a word, she can read those nonverbal cues. And when you're sulking or you're acting passive-aggressive, butthurt, pouting, especially for sex, shutting down emotionally, she feels that. And you can't just say, well, I'm responsible for me and she's responsible for her, and then just check out. You have to own that your energy either creates emotional safety or emotional tension. And it's not a good kind of tension. But safety is what fuels desire and connection and emotional intimacy. So as you fill yourself up with love and you overflow with emotional safety, that builds trust for her. And that builds an environment that invites joy. Because you don't force her to be happy and you don't fix her emotions, but you lead the emotional environment. And you do that by being steady when she's stressed and offering affection without pressure. And you speak encouragement instead of criticism. And you create shared moments of lightness and laughter without the heavy pressures and the games and the manipulation. And you live your life fully outside the marriage so that you're not emotionally draining her, that she's just a beautiful bonus, a beautiful part of your life. And you learn how to self-soothe so that you can respond instead of react when times get tough. And you're calm in the midst of conflict. And you're kind in your misunderstandings. And you're playful with no strings attached and no unwritten rules. And you're a man that's full, not selfishly or narcissistically, but you're full of love, even when she's tired or stressed or distracted. And you create that emotional climate where love can grow again. And it's not through control. It's through leadership. And that's when you stop loving from fear and you love her from freedom, because that's what happens with most wounded men. They love from fear. If I do this, maybe she'll love me back. If I say this right, maybe she'll open up. If I fix myself fast enough, maybe she'll want to have sex with me again. That's all manipulation. A secure husband loves from freedom. He can say that I love you, baby, because that's who I am. I show up with consistency because that's who I choose to be. I offer connection, not because I need a specific response, but because I am full enough to give without fear. That kind of energy feels safe and strong, and it's attractive and trustworthy. And that's what rebuilds marriages. Yeah, it takes time, but it rebuilds bridges surely and deeply. And when you heal, you commit to your own happiness first, and then you can share it because you're not making your marriage the source of your fulfillment. We talk about building that full life. You have that strong spiritual connection. You build your mission and your purpose and your health and your vitality, your friends, your community, your internal peace. You fill your own tank every day. And when that tank is so full, from that overflow, you bring joy into the relationship and you influence her in a positive way. Because you're not coming to her as a man begging to be filled anymore. You're coming to her as a man full enough to love her well. And whether she's receptive today or not, you stay steady. Because your happiness was never supposed to be her responsibility. And hers was never supposed to be yours. You meet as whole people. That's where real intimacy lives. So yeah, you're 100% responsible for your happiness and she's 100% responsible for hers. But your emotional energy creates the environment where happiness can either grow or suffocate. Because you're not here to rescue her. You're not here to fix her. She can't rescue you. She can't fix you. But you are here to lead yourself first and then invite her into a space of love and safety and connection. And that way you can live whole and you don't have to live needy anymore. That's becoming the secure husband. I hope this podcast was helpful. If so, please give me a review, hit that subscribe button for more Secure Husband episodes, and share this episode with someone who you think may need to hear it. Visit securehusband.com for more resources and to book one-on-one coaching. And I'll see you again on the next Secure Husband podcast. Thanks for listening.